I mean, there's something very interesting that's on Voyager 1 that I
Mm-hmm.
think Parker
Yes.
wants to talk about.
One thing that I've been looking at online for a very long time and that I wanted to buy a copy, a replica of, which you can buy. I think it's like $100. But it's not as cool, obviously. But it's the golden record.
I have a
And I'm
poster of it.
sure.
I have a poster. You've seen it in my
Oh, yeah,
room.
you
The
do. I
poster.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so the golden record, I'll give a small debriefing if, of course, there are some people who don't know what it is. It's a vinyl record, but it's golden. That's why they
Yeah.
call it the golden record. All right, and it contains relics, I guess you can say, information. Contains songs, uh, greetings, in many languages, of course. It contains images, and it contains sounds of nature. Everything you can essentially think of that can be like heard or seen on the earth was put on this disc. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason for it was, okay, first reason was because we knew this would be the first spacecraft to leave our solar system. And so Carl Sagan was the chair of the committee that organized the golden record. And basically, this committee decided what would go on the record. And I actually think it's a lot of pressure, right? Like if I asked you, what would you put on a record that would go into interstellar space?
That would be a very hard answer
I
because
definitely have like.
it's the first one. It's the very first one. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, the point of this is to hopefully one day it would reach like another planet where an extraterrestrial life will be able to partly understand it. I mean, that is the actual goal of the golden record.
Not really. You said the goal is to reach another planet.
No, no, no. Well, not
That's
reach
not.
another planet, but like that it can be interpreted by another extraterrestrial life. Like for an
Yeah,
extraterrestrial to find this, not to reach another planet, but to find the spacecraft.
the
If they can find the
most.
spacecraft, and then they can probably decode this information. Because I
So
believe there's also like a lot of like there's a circle, square, and like basic shapes and stuff like that that also like kind of symbolize
so the reason
diversity
why
and life on
there's
Earth. Yeah.
the reason why there's a circle on, and this is actually on the cover of the disc, is because there are instructions, and obviously the instructions on the record aren't in English because we know our audience, right? Our audience are non-English, non-human or Earth-like creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like images, like small, like little diagrams, I guess you can say, that can be interpreted, or hopefully can be interpreted, to be able to play the record and to be able to see and hear the images. And if you know anything about records, they have to be spun at a certain radial velocity in order to be able to hear everything properly. And the reason why there's a circle on the cover is because if you decode the instructions properly on how to play the record, the first thing you'll see is a circle. And so if you decode the message, you play the record, you should be able to see a perfect circle. And that's how you know you got it right, because that's what you see on the disc, right? On the disc, there's just a circle and there's a box around it to indicate like the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's a circle on it.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, I mean that's pretty neat because if you think about it, because I thought, wait, so there's nothing, it's nothing like relating to like math or something like
well,
that.
I'm
I thought.
sure I'm sure there are like mathematical
Mm-hmm.
things on the disc, but the reason why there's a circle as the first image is to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you have it right, because they could be playing it at any speed and then
Mm-hmm.
everything would come out wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the images have to come out at a certain, like the specific
True.
playback speed for
So
them for it to be perfect, right?
there are actually 116 images
Mm-hmm.
on the golden record, And I think and they're by various artists. Like I'm just like reading a few here. And
All
you were
over the
talking about
world
like
too.
yeah, all over the world, all over the world. Like Greetings in 55 languages is one of the
Mhm.
tracks that's on there. You know, like they're. I think the idea is very nice, and if you think about it, like if you have you seen the movie Arrival?
No.
So this is so basically like these aliens arrive on Earth and like they do all these weird signs and everyone's like, what are they doing? And this one genius who basically speaks all languages decodes the signs and can understand what they're saying. So I
Wow.
guess that is literally the point. It's kind of like that, where hopefully one day this record would either reach, or the alien or an extraterrestrial would capture it or something and be able to decode it in the same way in that movie. So if you guys have seen
Mhm.
that movie, that's a great movie.
And funny thing about the Voyager is that it will most likely be, I want to say voyaging, just to throw a little pun in there. But okay, it'll be out in space a long time after the human race has been extinct. Right? It'll still be roaming through space after the sun has turned into a red giant and has enveloped the Earth. And right, if we're not on Mars yet, then we'll just be gone.
Mm-hmm.
The point of this is to say that once, like, most probable situation will be that if the disk is heard by another form of life, it will be like of the past of the Earth, right? It'll be like the only memory of life
Mm-hmm.
in our corner of the universe, which
Because
is pretty interesting.
think about it. If it's found in like 20 million years, like we might not even be here. We might not even be on Earth. You know, we might be in another. I mean, I'm obviously speculating. We might be in another galaxy in 20 million years. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's a pretty long time frame.
Yeah.
And
We
I mean,
might
long
catch up
time
to
frame.
it.
Sorry.
We might catch up to it and grab it.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, long time frame compared to us, but like in the universe, 20 million years is like nothing. So you know, like if it reaches, or like an extraterrestrial decodes it in 20 million years, it's a very big possibility that we are no longer on Earth, and that's just. I mean, I guess you can't really factor that in when you're doing something like this, right? Like it's all like you have to just believe that it's found as soon as possible.